Now, if I were to tell you that experiencing a hurricane, sitting in your room, hearing the wind, the rain, the trees falls around you would increase your likelihood of causing PTSD, you would probably get that. You'd probably understand how that was true. So why am I still on this topic? And the reason is, historically, psychologists have tried to answer this question about hurricanes and PTSD by looking at a really small geographical and time area, generally a small area over 1 or 2 years, 1 or 2 hurricanes. But I want to broaden that out. I want to look at an entire country over a longer time period. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to look at a bunch of individuals in households throughout Mexico, and I want to know how many hurricanes have you experienced, what's the strongest hurricane you've experienced, and other factors that we call controls in economics that are to really try to isolate the effect of hurricanes on PTSD. So what do I find? I find that, like other literature, if you experience a hurricane, you are more likely to get PTSD. But what else? How do I push this further? If you take 2 individuals and each has experienced the same number of hurricanes, and one has experienced a Category 5 hurricane and one has experienced a Category 3 hurricane, the individual who's experienced a Category 5 is more likely to get PTSD than the individual who experienced a Category 3. I also can say that if you have 2 individuals who have experienced a strongest storm of Category 5, and one has experienced 3 hurricanes, and one has experienced 6 hurricanes, the individual who has experienced 6 hurricanes is less likely to develop PTSD. But that seems counterintuitive, so how can this be? The reason is the individual who has experienced more hurricanes has less uncertainty about what that event's going to be like. They know kind of what that hurricane's going to be like, and they might be better able to protect their house or leave the area before a hurricane and are less likely to be traumatized by that event. So what does this mean? What are the policy implications of this thesis? How is this different than the findings from past psychology literature? Well, if you are a national policymaker in Mexico, especially those tasked with trying to mitigate mental health outcomes, especially from natural disasters, and you see a hurricane that's headed towards a set of communities in Mexico, and you know the past history of how many hurricanes, the strength of the hurricanes, and other factors about those areas, you can better allocate resources to those areas. You'll be better prepared to mitigate the negative effects of a hurricane in those areas, better than you could before if you just knew, hey, a hurricane is more likely to increase PTSD. You have a better understanding of those past factors and community factors to mitigate that. So thank you.